This year has been full of the highest highs and the lowest.
Blake Lively is firing back hard at Justin Baldoni's legal team in what's shaping up to be one of Hollywood's most intense legal battles. After dropping her emotional distress claims, Baldoni's side accused her of refusing to share medical records. But Lively's lawyers say that's a flat-out lie designed for tabloid headlines. In this video, we're breaking down everything you need to know about the latest courtroom twist, the real reason those claims were dropped, and what it all means moving forward. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you're always in the loop on major celebrity legal drama. In a legal battle that continues to escalate in both the courtroom and the media, Blake Lively's legal team is forcefully pushing back against what they describe as a calculated media maneuver by Justin Baldoni's team. The controversy centers around Lively's decision to drop two specific claims from her lawsuit: intentional infliction of emotional distress, IIED, and negligent infliction of emotional distress, NIED. Baldoni's team has publicly asserted that this move is connected to Lively's alleged refusal to provide medical records that could substantiate her claims of emotional distress. However, Lively's lawyers insist that the narrative is both incorrect and deliberately misleading. In a statement released to E! News, attorneys Ezra Hudson and Mike Gottlieb, who represent Lively, made it clear that their legal strategy is being unfairly portrayed by the opposing side. Once again, this is a routine part of the litigation process that is being used as a press stunt, the statement reads. We are doing what trial lawyers do, preparing our case for trial by streamlining and focusing it. They are doing what they do, desperately seeking another tired round of tabloid coverage. The statement seeks to draw a line between legitimate legal strategy and opportunistic media manipulation. By narrowing the scope of the lawsuit and dropping the two distress claims, Lively's legal team asserts they are not admitting any weakness in their case, but rather sharpening their focus on other, more substantive allegations, including sexual harassment, retaliation, and the pursuit of massive additional compensatory damages. Lively's team clarified that emotional distress remains a central part of her case, despite the withdrawal of the specific IIED and NIED claims. Ms. Lively continues to allege emotional distress as part of numerous other claims in her lawsuit. The attorneys emphasized, reiterating that the allegations surrounding her treatment while involved with Baldoni and Wayfarer Studios remain serious and actionable. This legal maneuvering came to a head on June 2nd, when Lively's attorneys filed a letter in court recounting the events of a recent teleconference between the legal teams. According to the letter, also obtained by E! News, both parties agreed to drop the distress-related claims, with modest revisions that Baldoni's team reportedly did not object to during the call. There was no indication, Lively's side insists, that the opposing counsel had any concerns about this course of action at the time. However, what transpired after the teleconference has become a new flashpoint. Lively's attorneys allege that later that same day, Baldoni and his co-defendants, operating under the collective name the Wayfarer Parties, filed a motion claiming Lively's withdrawal of the distress claims was due to her refusal to provide medical documentation. Lively's team denounced that allegation as factually and legally misleading, to suggest that Ms. Lively has refused to produce anything in either her written discovery responses, in the parties conference, or any time thereafter. Her attorneys write in the June 2nd letter, in connection with these claims is intentionally misleading to the court and their intended audience for this false record, the public. In other words, Lively's lawyers argue this narrative has less to do with legal merit and more to do with spinning a story for public consumption. Importantly, Lively is requesting that the dropped claims be dismissed without prejudice, which would preserve her right to refile them at a later time. Her attorneys have made this request to Judge Lewis Lyman, emphasizing that her withdrawal of the claims is not a final abandonment, but a procedural tactic as the case moves forward. This too has become a point of contention. In a counterfiling obtained by Variety, Baldoni's team criticized Lively's request, stating, in other words, Ms. Lively wants to simultaneously A. refuse to disclose the information and documents needed to disprove that she suffered any emotional distress and or that the Wayfarer parties were the cause, and B. maintain the right to refile her IED claims at an unknown time in this or some other court after the discovery window has closed. That characterization was firmly rejected by Lively's team, who assert that no such refusal occurred and that any implication to the contrary is a deliberate distortion, aimed at influencing both the court and the broader public. This is not about a lack of cooperation, they argue. This is about a misrepresentation of the facts for strategic gain. At the heart of the legal battle is a broader narrative about how high-profile cases involving celebrities can blur the line between legitimate legal action and trial by media. Lively's attorneys seem especially sensitive to the way her case is being portrayed in the press and are pushing back hard against what they view as a manipulative strategy by Baldoni's side to shape public opinion rather than argue the merits in court. The backdrop to this litigation involves allegations that Lively experienced sexual harassment and retaliation while working with Baldoni and Wayfarer Studios. These claims remain central to her lawsuit, and her team is continuing to pursue significant damages. The dropped emotional distress claims they maintain are not essential to the strength of the overall case, which is why they have opted to streamline the issues for trial. Legal experts not affiliated with the case note that it's not unusual for plaintiffs to narrow their claims in complex lawsuits. Dropping specific causes of action can actually be a sign of a focused legal strategy rather than a retreat, said one legal analyst. What makes this situation more complex is the media attention and the apparent efforts by both sides to control the narrative outside the courtroom. For Lively, who has maintained a relatively private stance in the midst of the legal proceedings, the public statements issued by her lawyers represent a significant attempt to reclaim the narrative. The intensity of the back and forth between the two legal teams suggests that this case is far from reaching a resolution, and that both sides are gearing up for a potentially bruising trial. As things stand, Lively's lawsuit against Baldoni and the Wayfarer parties continues to move forward with key allegations still on the table. The drama surrounding the withdrawal of the emotional distress claims may ultimately prove to be a footnote, but for now, it's a sharp reminder of how high-stakes litigation in the entertainment industry often plays out as much in headlines as it does in legal briefs. Thanks for watching. If you found this breakdown helpful, give it a like, subscribe for more celebrity legal drama, and hit the bell so you never miss an update. See you in the next one.